if there's one thing I'm more skeptical of than mainstream movies, is mainstream reboots or remakes. Now, and this one, and when it comes to It 2017, I was really skeptical about this film because the original TV movie that had Tim Curry in it back in 1990 is considered to be, this campy and cheesy Stephen King adaptation. And throughout, the 90s into the 2000s, and even up to now, Stephen King's been pretty hit or miss with adaptations. Thankfully, Andy Muschietti's version of this, hopefully I'm saying that right, is a ballpark hit for sure. I mean, first of all, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise really outbeats Tim Curry's version. I don't care what anyone says. This version's creepier, this version's more disturbing, and this version is certainly more delightful to watch. Delightful in, the most fucked up sense. But anyhow, when it comes to also this movie, I gotta say that the kids in it have much better chemistry than the original. Again, really didn't see the original, but from clips what I've seen, it's absolutely awful, the original chemistry. Thankfully, it's cleaned up here. The CGI / practical effects, are really used to its best advantage. And this film was only $35 million for the budget, which is surprisingly low for a mainstream horror film that, is a remake out of all things. Now, I know horror films are usually low budget, but when it's coming from a studio like Warner Brothers and it's the only big movie of the week, you expect it to be more, but, I think it's perfect on the budget it's done. And I gotta say, another thing I love about this movie is that while it is 2 hours and 15 minutes, it only felt like, an hour 45. That's how good the pacing, that's how good the editing is throughout this film. Thank God there's no narration. Us, the audience, can actually just watch the film. And it's also a legitimately scary movie. I mean, there's one scene between Beverly and her father in this movie that creeped me out so much that I felt like I needed to leave the theater at points, but thankfully, they don't show it too long, and I'm glad that this movie is going to be split up into 2 parts, since I would not want to be in the theater for 4 hours seeing both the adult and the kid versions of the story. I'm going to give It 2017 a 9 out of 10, and please, people, go check this out. I highly recommend you do. This is one remake that I think is really well done, and hopefully the sequel to It will hopefully live up to the same expectations, if not better than this version. So see you around, people. Bye.